Yeah, I'm just reading this text from my manager.
Oh, he looking at nude pictures.
I wouldn't be surprised if she sent me nudes at this point, but yeah, it's a different story.
Whoa!
What she really man? What is she really managing?
Hey, that's for off the air. All right, we're on the air now. All right, let's be professional here. Nah, I do got some insight for y'all after this podcast. Some insider baseball.
Let me check real quick.
Mm.
All right, let me check real quick. I'm looking at my Twitch, and Twitch got the wrong.
What, the wrong title?
Yeah, it has half the title on it. Don't ask me how to have. I have no idea how that happened. So that's looking weird. I typed out the whole thing, and then once I got up and running, it only got half of the title. Paste that. Done. Okay, it's updated. All right, we're good now. All right, got that situated with Twitch. We are live on Twitch and on YouTube. This is the First and Framerates podcast. Myself, Bills, DJ, episode 108. Not much gaming news been going on, but this is why we do sports and sports gaming, because there's a lot of sports stuff been going on. What's going on, people in the chat? Chris Thomas, Spectacular Pooh. Same old, man. We do appreciate the loyal listeners, the loyal, people in the chat, people who share the content, retweet it, like it, tell other people, on the street. We love all of it. Can't appreciate it enough. 2020 has started out pretty good overall. I really enjoy doing this, and I love the way things are going. Before we get into intros, first, check out DJ's new blog on 2K20. The link is down in the description. Both links still do work, right, DJ?
Yes, I haven't uploaded to Wix as of yet, so just go to WordPress for right now.
Okay, go to the first link. The first link, evo81.wordpress.com. Pretty much later on down the road, so maybe later on DJ will put it up on the second one, but his blog is there. Join our Discord. That's also, the link is down there. If you can't find us, just go to download Discord and search First and Framerates. Also iTunes, SoundCloud. I'm still waiting on the approval from Google Play, so hopefully we'll be on Google as well. Keep this up. Maybe we'll be on iHeart and get really, really big, but that's somewhere down the line. DJ, man, how's your weekend? How's everything been going?
Well, the weekend was pretty good. The picks turned out the way mostly that I thought, and got some snow today, so I went out running. I did some cardio-based activity out there. It's nice and brisk out there. I know NYK was like, "No, I'm not doing anything like that."
Why you had to do that man voice like that though?
Because I don't know what he sounds like, so I had to come up with one. And
you do know what he sounds like.
Oh, he just exposed himself. You don't watch your videos.
Damn.
He just exposed himself.
Jesus.
Exposed.
Well, it's a play of what he sounds like. Everyone knows what he sounds
like. Okay, NYK, you got the link. You can come check him whenever you're ready.
Well, obviously, he ain't gonna use it because he hasn't used it before.
I was about to say I wouldn't support him either. Bring your ass to the
podcast. Well, anyway,
like calm down, guys, calm down.
Oh, I see.
I'm not gonna do that. Bills, man, what's been going on with you, man?
Well, had a fucking 2-hour conference call with my manager, so just a lot of shit going on right now. Not too overwhelming, but it's a lot of shit, but I signed up for this, so I'm good. But yeah, I've just been watching these Patriots fans go at it with every other fan base in NFL, and got a couple roasts today. This is going to be much like that other episode that I advertised roasts. So yeah, it's going to be that type of day.
Okay. Like I said, I mean, it's just been great on my end. I got more stuff done up here in the game room. Got my mini console set up now. Got other things set up. And everything's going. I got some room because I'm gonna put a bed up here, and I'm gonna get a couple of 1-up arcades it's going to be looking nice up here within the next few weeks, a month, or whatever. So that's what I've been working on for the past this weekend. And tonight is my last night off. I'm back to work tomorrow morning. So it's just good times. Good times. I cannot complain. Let's get right into these wildcard results. Not only that, you guys were the winners. I was a straight loser. It's just been some good football overall. I can't say it enough how satisfied I was with the level of football it was. Even though, you have times in the NFL that it's not that good. It's like ho hum. This was actually pretty decent football. And I walked away impressed, and hopefully next week be the same. So, Bills, whenever you want to pull up the results, we can talk about those and just go from there.
Let me just bookmark this real quick.
What you about to say, DJ?
Yeah, I'm going to just come out and say that the most boring game was the Seahawks and the Eagles by far.
Which is why I went to sleep.
I mean, even then, even though it was a fairly boring game, it was actually exciting compared to other games we had throughout the week. Not this week, but throughout the regular season. I'm not saying
that's kind of by default. But
yeah, I guess you're right. I'm not saying that you're wrong.
That's why I just kept it to out of the 4 playoff games that took place. This one was the most boring. I turned away from it. I really couldn't care any more about that game than I did the others. The others were like lights out. Very exciting.
let's do the standings real quick. Because me and DJ basically tied at 3-1, I believe.
Yep, 3-1.
And VF got
1-3.
So the thing with that is, and we'll get into this. Honestly, looking at VF's picks, they weren't anything that I think anybody else wouldn't have made. It's just the fact that, the Texans game bit us both in the ass. The Vikings game was one that, I can understand why y'all picked the Saints. I completely understand it. So he just got bit by the fact this is playoff football more than anything. But yeah, let's get into these games. So the first game was the Titans and the Patriots.
Well, basically what you're saying, what I did was safe picks. It's just the fact that the playoffs pretty much turned that around for me.
Yeah, you went according to conventional wisdom, and there's nothing wrong with that. I kind of looked at a couple of other factors, and that kind of contributed to my picks, and that's why me and DJ, we basically alternated the ones that we got wrong, and we really weren't too far off. Like, we'll get into the. Oh, God. And
honestly, I'm just a wild card. I have no loyalties. I'm not even looking at stats. I'm not looking at anything. It's just whatever I felt like that was going to be it.
Yeah. So the first game was the Titans and the Patriots. The Titans took this one 20-13. I saw this coming. VF took the Pats, which once again, there's nothing wrong with that pick. Conventional wisdom and history would tell you that
it's hard to go against the Patriots.
Exactly.
Foxborough.
Exactly. Especially first round. The Titans just made more plays. Derrick Henry had a great game. An amazing game. He's had a couple of games like that this year.
Yeah, he had 34 carries for 182. He averaged 5 points. He almost averaged 5.5 yards per carry.
See, and that's what I was going to get to. It was just like every time he got the ball, he would accelerate. He would accelerate through the line with nobody really putting their hands on him. And then towards the end of the game, it was just like nobody didn't want to even try to tackle him.
I mean, you got to think about it.
The whole game.
I mean, if damn near every touch you're at the second level every single time, it's very hard to win a game. I don't care, what you're doing.
And what it came down to, honestly, was what, most Patriots fans that are unbiased and are honest with themselves, they expected, which was receivers weren't getting separation.
Nope.
And, all the former Patriots, I pointed that out. I said, look, they have nothing but former Patriots on that team. Deion Lewis, Malcolm Butler, Logan Ryan. Hell, their coach was one of the best Patriots ever. And Mike Vrabel. He was
outsmarted Bill Belichick.
Outsmarted Bill Belichick, and I'm going to get
into his own game. Yeah.
I'm definitely going to get more into that when I get into my roast, but Yeah, I mean, this is what I expected. I expected the Titans to overall be able to make more plays when it mattered, and everybody can harp on Ryan Tannehill's stats and how lackluster they are. But look, he made throws when he needed to make throws.
Those eight, those 8 completions he made, where every one of them was very important,
very crucial.
You know, there was only 8 completions, but they were very important. So I mean, yeah, we get it, but we kind of know when you look at the Titans. When you saw the game, how it was going, you knew what was really important. It was the running game. And when they needed to pass, those 8 completions hurt the Patriots every single time.
Yeah. So that was that game. And then the second game on Saturday, which was the first game, the Bills and the Texans. The Texans took this one 22-19 in overtime.
Let me talk about this real quick. And I'm dead serious when I say this. If Josh Allen and I hate for people to keep poo-pooing on this kid because I understand it's his first game in the playoffs, but he made some really fucked up plays. And if the coaching staff would have calmed him down, they could have kept this game in hand and probably could have won it. I blame both because nobody pulled Josh Allen aside and said, you know what? Stop the bullshit and calm your ass down. They just let him go out there. They basically let him go out there and play. And you can't do that in the playoffs. The first
thing I'll say about this game, I think it was a classic. I think this was, when you look back at Wildcard weekend games.
Oh yeah,
this one is going to be up there with the best ones we've seen. It had everything. It had big players showing up when they're supposed to show up. I had people telling me J.J. Watt was overrated in the first quarter when he was getting double teamed, and then all of a sudden they shut the fuck up by the time the third quarter came because he made the sack that literally turned the game around. It literally, if he didn't get that sack on that play on that third down, they were probably dead in the water. Bills go down and score one more time. That's it. He got him going. He got the crowd into it.
But see, this is what I'm talking about. He did. But all Josh Allen had to do was just be cool and calm, or somebody could have pulled him aside and tell him to be cool and calm and just set up small conservative plays for him. It's like they lost the game on their own because they just couldn't control the ball. And they have a really good running game, and all they had to do have him with short passes. They had him throwing bombs. I mean, look, the dude threw for 264 and ran for 92. I mean, what else could you ask for outside of him just calming down in the middle of the third and fourth quarter?
I think what happened was they did not anticipate that line being able to hold up for the quarter and a half that it did on the Texans side. They felt like they were going to continue to get pressure on Deshaun Watson, which to a certain extent they did, but he put his Superman cape on, which I talked about last week. We all talked about that.
I get that, but once again, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, but Deshaun Watson, he can have that cape on all he wants, but if he's on the sideline with the Bills methodically moving the ball, it means nothing. The Bills shot themselves in the foot on various amount of times for them to lose this game.
No, so that's the point. That's the point I was making, though, because the thing is, I think the reason they were going for the jugular was because of that fact. They felt like one more stop and one more score, and this is over. But they could never connect. They
couldn't get the score. That's the problem.
They couldn't connect downfield.
The thing is, they're trying to get the score from their territory or just get inside the Texans' territory. It's not one time they actually tried to get down deep in the red zone and try to just go for the jugular then. And if they did that one time, we could be talking about a game where the Texans would have only had 19 points and the Bills, it would have probably been like 27-19.
No, I definitely agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like the fact that the Bills barely scored in the second half is definitely an indictment on the play calling. And Josh Allen, of course, Josh Allen is a wild card. He's going to make not a lot, but he's going to make some erratic plays when he's trying to do too much. And you kind of, I won't say you expect it, but it's something you have to live with because there's so much good about him. But I think the play calling could have prevented that.
I think going forward, that stuff is going to cease. It's going to diminish. Definitely. He's not going to be one of these quarterbacks that constantly do stuff like this. But really, I think that's going to come with maturity. But seriously, the coaches need to be the one to actually tell them, like, look, it's a big moment. You need to calm down. I mean, because everybody, not going to say everybody, but most people in the first playoff game, they either lay an egg or they do something crazy. I mean, last year, who were we talking about doing this last year? Lamar Jackson. He got pulled because he was so bad.
Yeah.
Now look at him now. You see what I'm saying? So it's
well, shoot. Even within that game last year, he turned it around and almost brought them back. So,
well, and more importantly, look at Josh Allen. What important game did he play in college? He didn't really have any preparation for this. Also, so
playing that you came from Wyoming. I mean, what
Yeah.
who
Yeah,
you
that's what
playing?
I'm saying.
Right about that.
So it's like now he's all of a sudden in a playoff game on the road. And I'm sure in the back of his head, he's like, yeah, let's put a nail in these dudes, bro. They get
Right.
nothing going offensively. And then Deshaun Watson, like I say, he just started making some plays that he had no business making. And I think it all started from that J.J. Watt sack that got them that stop.
I can agree. I mean, to take nothing away from the Texans deserve to get back in this game and win it because, the Bills just couldn't handle it. The Texans was the better team in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, it's just that, on the flip side of that, the Bills, the quarterback in general, is growing pains. I think next year he'll be better. Get him maybe 1 or 2 more weapons, and he matures. I think he'll be fine. I mean, we said this earlier in the season. Mm-hmm. Buffalo Bills, they have the potential to be, a really good team for the next 4 or 5 years easily. They have the setup for it.
So DJ picked the Texans on that one. Me and VF took the Titans. Took the Bills, and that was that game.
Problem. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is in the Twitch chat. What's going on, man? I appreciate you coming through. We don't get too many viewers on Twitch, but I'm trying to make that happen. So that avenue is open, and I hope you guys enjoyed the little ticker we got in the bottom that tells everybody to join our Discord, come through, and not only you can do Q&A here, which is tonight, you can do Q&A pretty much on the Discord 24/7. So you check us out there.
So then the third game we had on Sunday, we had the Vikings at the Saints, and the Vikings took that one.
Wait a minute. Do you really want to talk about this game now, or you want to talk about the Seahawks game first?
I mean,
I kind of want to touch the Eagles first.
All right, let's do
it's just so much. It's just so much to dwell into with the Vikings.
Yeah, let's do the Seahawks. Let's do the Seahawks game. The Seahawks took that one. 17-9. We saw a couple of interesting things. We all took the Seahawks, by the way. Mm-hmm. We saw a couple of interesting things in this game. One being Carson Wentz's injury. A lot of people are talking about the hit that Clowney laid being a dirty hit, perhaps. Then Josh McCown was hurt for part of it, I heard. The Seahawks. Yeah, the Seahawks. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. You got to look a bit more impressive beating a beat up Eagles team than this.
I personally don't think they played a good game. I just think Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf made the game. Tyler Lockett did make one incredible catch, but overall, everything.
DK definitely had a coming out party.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, and I just think outside of DK, Russell Wilson to DK, I think everything else is pretty much pedestrian gameplay.
Yeah, they need to figure out a way to get that running game going. They have to.
Yeah,
they're not going to go anywhere without it.
Yeah, and that's another thing I was saying. I like when Marshawn Lynch got signed, I was like, I don't know how big an effect this have. Maybe, he needs a few games to get the games under his legs or whatever. I don't know. But
6 carries, 7 yards for him. And the guy in front of him had 11 carries for 12 yards. That's not going to cut it.
Mm-mm. Right. And the thing is, they didn't even use what's his name, Robert Turbin. I'm surprised. Maybe you could switch something up with him because Turbin is like the tweener between Homer and Lynch. Like he's big like Lynch, but he could move like Homer. They didn't even try to use him. So I don't know. But I predicted the Seahawks would win by at least 14. Then I knocked it down to 10, and then they still disappointed me, only won by 8. So I don't know. But I don't know. Well, DJ, what are your thoughts about the game?
Well, I really want to focus on that hit, Clowney on Wentz. Now, first of all, I didn't think it was a dirty hit. When I looked at it closely, the camera angle that they kept showing made it look more dirty than what it actually was.
I agree.
He led with his shoulder and hit him in his back, and kind of just the helmets from the camera angle, it looked like the helmet hit first, and then you seen the head the whiplash effect, and then he just slammed his head into the turf. But he was coming over from the side when he hit him, and then Carson Wentz is diving head first. At that point he's a runner. And if you're diving head first, you don't get the luxuries of either being a quarterback or doing the traditional slide that you're not supposed to get hit on. So but on the other side, it's kind of hard to say that Carson Wentz needs to protect himself a little bit better because, what got him in that situation? Receivers couldn't get open. He had to make a play. And you're asking a guy who's already carrying a back injury. I'm like, everybody keeps forgetting he's playing. I don't know how much it's affecting him, but we talked about this, that going into this season, he has that little micro fracture back there in his spinal cord. So he's already, short on time as far as that is concerned.
We talked about something else, though.
Yeah.
We talked about the fact that if he was going to be successful, he would have to change the way he plays. And that dive.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about Carson Wentz, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have slid.
I'm sorry. Like, he does it all the time. It's like, bro, you have to know how important you are to that team. You got to slide there. You have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
No, we get it, Pooh. He was 100% healthy, but that
he went 100% healthy.
I mean, even if he
had a pre-existing condition going into the season, that's what I said.
That's exactly what I was about to say. We talked about this prior to the season started. Like, he may be healthy, but with pre-existing conditions, anything could flare up an injury. Not to saying that his back was a problem with the concussion, but still, regardless, that's still the risk you take. But nevertheless.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? How was that a dive? He reached the ball out after the dude grabbed his ankle. He could have went down. He went and dove for extra yards. It was a dive.
Yeah, I think he went for the first down or something. He has to be more careful, man. I mean,
yeah, dude, that's just you got to be smarter than that.
Yeah,
and then Pooh, you got to look at the angle. You definitely have to look at the angle because
that wasn't a dirty hit, man.
Clowney's coming over from the side. It's not like he's going in and going head first.
And he dipped his shoulder.
I'll put it like this.
And your head's gonna follow wherever your shoulder.
Yeah. This is what I was saying. I mean, I'll just to let's put a little bit of common sense to it. Mm-hmm. Could he honestly aim for Wentz's head? As both of them going to the ground like that, could you honestly think that he could have aimed for his head like that?
He was coming from the side and he was slightly behind him.
If he aimed at Carson's head intentionally, he probably would have missed him.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't think he could honestly just like when you see somebody do a targeting penalty.
Oh yeah,
or like
of those.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Alabama. Was it the Alabama game or it was the Oklahoma game? You saw when he went for the dude's head. You saw like Vontaze Burfict. You see where like you can see when somebody
Brandon Merriweather.
You can see when somebody aims crown to crown, helmet to helmet. That doesn't look like somebody that looking at somebody's running and say, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go and spear him with my head while both of them going down," because he could possibly miss his crown of the helmet, could hit the ground, and he could be seriously hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't think he aimed for his head. I think if anything, it was like incidental contact.
Because what that hit kind of reminded me of is not really so much of a hit, but remember when Michael Irvin, his last game was at Veterans Stadium, and he just dove head first into the concrete turf,
right,
and pretty much jammed his neck into the ground. So that pretty much could have been this. That could have been the situation with Carson Wentz. Obviously, it was a concussion, but he could have had something worse, like cracked vertebrae off.
Because I'm watching the play, and from the angle behind, with the camera behind Carson Wentz, it really just looks like Clowney was going to dive on him just to make sure he touched him down.
To me, it's just hard for me to believe that he aimed for Carson Wentz's helmet.
From the angle, think about it. He's coming in from the side, but really it's more so behind Wentz. If he was aiming at his head, he would have completely missed him. Because he would have dove over him.
And then the old football rule is you play until the whistle blows. The play's still going on. It's not like we show mercy when a player is almost down. I'm like, a lot of people like to finish plays. That's what football players are taught to do: finish the play. And
especially
finish the play.
especially defensive players.
Yeah, I don't see that hit. I don't see that hit being.
Yeah, I mean, does it look bad? I mean, listen, you can put anything on instant replay and it looks bad.
Oh yeah, when you slow it down.
Yeah, when we talk about the Saints game, there's a photo that makes it look bad, but everyone's seen the video, and obviously,
yeah.
That's gonna lead right into my rules.
Yeah, we've been going to that now. We can talk about the game now because it's
so the Vikings and the Saints ended 26-20. The Vikings took that one. I picked the Vikings. VF and DJ picked the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
This was another good game.
I'm impressed how well the Vikings.
Yeah, this was. Yeah, I'm impressed, and I was the one that sat there and said it was going to come down to Kirk Cousins. Even though I picked against him, I knew it was going to be up to him because they knew what Dalvin Cook was going to do. They knew the receivers that he had, but the trigger man has always been the question. So it's just fitting that that's what this game came down to.
And they gave Dalvin Cook the ball a bunch, 28 carries, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. Adam Thielen came up huge.
Yeah,
7 catches, 129, including the last one, which really pretty much sealed the deal. That bomb from Kirk Cousins. Overall, the Saints are who I thought they were, and their fans are who I thought they were.
But you know what? What I didn't expect was Drew Brees to crumble.
Why not?
That's what I'm saying.
On
that play, he fumbled. I was just disappointed that with all those people around you, you're gonna have the ball way out here, away from your body, and not protect it and pretty much just kill the momentum that was brought out by his eventual replacement. So,
by the way, that Saints front could not block them all game.
No, I mean the Vikings defense, their front seven has been good for like at least the last 2 years.
Yeah, Linval Joseph, you got Anthony Barr. I mean, they're legit, man.
Yeah, that's saying I'm not. I mean, that's something that I've noticed like for at least 2.5 years. That front defense has been really good. But as far as Drew Brees' play, I mean, we got to start to realize that. I mean, at least for the past 3, maybe 2 years, Drew Brees has not been the elite quarterback. Drew Brees has been making plays, and yeah, no doubt. But his numbers are because he's been playing that long.
That's true. But
you know what I'm saying? I mean, let's look at some highlights from Drew Brees from the last at least 2 years. They haven't been that impressive.
Well, can we be honest? Everybody, I'm sorry. This is gonna seem like I'm coming at Drew Brees, and I really don't care what the perception is because I'm just gonna speak some facts on Drew Brees real quick. Everybody talks about Tom Brady checking the ball down. If you look at how often Drew Brees checks the ball down, throws these 5-yard or less passes, it's not even close. When they talk about his completion percentage, I'm like, well, of course his completion percentage is going to be higher. He's not taking those risks that these other quarterbacks have to take. He has Kamara out of the backfield. He has Mike Thomas that is damn near always fucking open.
Speaking of which, Kamara definitely was a disappointment. He was, especially when he caught that ball towards the end and he braced like he was going to get hit and he wound up tripping backwards. I'm still wondering if he's still huddled up with the ball. Wait,
Taysom Hill was the only dude that had any type of dog in him on that offense.
No, Michael Thomas had 7 catches for 70 yards, and all of these catches were pretty much within the 10-yard line range. I mean, he did not go deep. He didn't go over. I think he had like the longest catch like for 12 yards.
Against an injured Xavier Rhodes.
And here's the funny thing. It's like, who do we give credit to as far as being able to defend the back end like that? Because, with Drew Brees having these dump-off routes that they do mostly all the time. Yeah. And there may be there were a couple of mix-ups in the back end with, I guess, Hunter Smith.
Harrison, yeah.
Harrison. Him getting crossed up a couple of times that ended up for touchdowns. Other than that, the Minnesota backfield was pretty solid.
And he had 11 tackles too. That kid's the complete safety.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you look at the Saints. Don't get me wrong, they've got it done. They had really creative plays out of the playbook to win football games. I mean, they didn't go 13-3 for nothing. It's just that when you look at like playoff football,
Mhm.
you can tell throughout the season. I had a feeling that they did not play playoff football. My thing was they're playing in New Orleans. It's hard to another place that, well, all intents and purposes, it's not that hard to win games there now. But I was thinking that, I was thinking that over the course of playing in the playoffs and playing against a Minnesota Vikings team, you think that the crowd will be behind the team and New Orleans actually will win that game. But you look at New Orleans, I mean, they lost to the Rams, they lost to the Vikings. They recently lost to the 49ers at home. They lost to the Falcons at home. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't think the mystique of the Superdome is all that good now. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that the troll of New Orleans because I'm a Falcons fan. You just look at the track record and you tell me I'm lying.
I don't even think you have to apologize for anything because remember, they did some of those fans took a shot at the Falcons doing that playoff game.
And that's another thing. Why would you do that? Is so stupid. Let's be honest. I put this on Twitter. I'm like, yo, you got people wearing these third quarter 28-3 jerseys
on somebody else other than Minnesota. Like,
and I put this on Twitter. I said they wear a jersey. They're wearing jerseys dissing the Falcons at a game where they play the Vikings while praising the New England Patriots. How does that make sense,
bro?
Let me
tell you about this.
Bills is a Patriots fan, and I know other Patriots fans. They don't even talk about 28-3 like that.
Well, okay. No, they do, and they're corny. They're corny as fuck for it.
Not as bad as the Saints, though. Not as bad as the Saints. The Saints.
Well, of course. I mean, the Saints have a particular, they have a particular axe to grind against y'all. But the Patriots fans, they keep beating that dead horse, and I'm tired of it. But that leads us into this whole thing about these fucking Saints fans. Okay, so
last play of the game.
The last no, I'm not even gonna get into the last play of the game.
No, you might about
that. You might as well because
we're gonna get that. There was one before it. There was one before it though.
Right, but I'm saying you might as well because it all ties in together though.
It does, but let's go in order because this is important here. Mm-hmm. So there was a play where they had an illegal blindside block on a punt return, right? And I mean, come on, it's the letter of the law. I get you don't like the rule. It is the rule. It is what it is. So they return the punt. They get backed up. I think the very first play of the Vikings, of their possession, Xavier Rhodes comes and lays a hit on a guy. That's a clean hit, right? Mm-hmm. They're fucking booing the refs. Oh, the referees suck. Referees suck. Fucking losers. They're already blaming the refs. So then I think they got called for a couple of other penalties down the stretch that they were just booing the refs completely. Matter of fact, the refs said to reset the clock to a certain time. They even booed that. It's like so then we get to the final play of the game, which I'm sorry, this made my fucking weekend. Not just my day, but my weekend. A last play of the game, you have a pass interference no call, and they didn't even fucking review it. Fucking beautiful. You had a rule instituted based on your bitching about the no call and pass interference last year. And in this particular situation where it would come up, it didn't even get reviewed. It was fucking amazing. I couldn't believe it. I was laughing for like an hour straight. It was so amazing. These Saints fans were so bitter.
It's like their own rule bit them in the ass.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And see now here's the other thing though. Here's the other caveat to it is Emmanuel Acho. He's also a part of this because he went to Twitter and he basically said, "Well, the overtime rules suck because Drew Brees didn't get a chance to drive down the field." I'm sorry for people who don't watch NFL overtime games. If you haven't watched an NFL overtime game, let me give you a little fucking history lesson. The last time we saw an overtime game that ended with literally just a field goal on the first drive, the game that started that was the Vikings and the Saints all the way back in 2009. The Brett Favre.
And the thing was, the Saints was the one that kicked the field goal to win.
And the Saints kicked the field goal to win, right?
Right.
So they changed the rule and they said this: it will no longer be sudden death. So if you stop a team from scoring a touchdown, even if they score 3 points, you're allowed to give up points. just not a touchdown, then you get the ball. If you score a touchdown, the game's over. If you score a field goal, then it's sudden death. People still don't want that.
That's what I'm saying. Like now you want a touchdown and they get the ball.
And you get the ball back. Like,
no.
I'm tired of this participation trophy bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, there's an offense and a defense. If your defense can't stop a team from driving 75 some odd yards, scoring a touchdown on you in the first possession of overtime, you don't deserve the ball back.
Shoot, the pass play that got him down there, that shit.
Right.
That had no business even landing in Thielen's hands.
You don't deserve the ball if you can't hold a team to a field goal. I'm sorry. What is your defense for? What are you paying them for? Hold them to 3 points. You get the ball back.
And
so,
then,
right.
And then at the end of the day, looking at that play, it was offensive pass interference.
Yes.
But even so,
but
what?
The argument can be made
that there was defensive holding.
The cornerback. Yeah,
I mean, and I think that's the reason why they did a no call, because it could have went either way.
Well, that's what they said. That they were both.
Because you got to think about it. If they call
like mutual combat at that point,
right? Because they call offensive pass interference, the first thing people are going to say, well, he was holding him, right? You know, so it's better off say, you know what, nobody gets a call.
Hence why they're not going to overturn those calls, and we called this in the preseason.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it. Also, when was the last time? You know what? Nobody, you don't hear this anymore. Whatever happened to let them play? Remember at one time we used to, especially in
the NBA, right?
Same thing, like especially in the NBA, you hear it all the time. Like, it's the end of the game, just let them play, guys. The referee shouldn't determine.
Didn't that just happen? That just happened,
right?
Yeah.
That just happened exactly.
Brandon Ingram, yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying. This is what, like, people cannot be satisfied with shit. It's like they want people to play. They want the players to play. They don't want the refs to determine the outcome. Now in this situation, where especially from last year with that play, they want referees to determine the outcome of a game. It's like you can't have it both ways. Me personally, I'll say, listen, let them play. Let them, swallow the whistle. Now, if it's something egregious, like let's say if Kyle Rudolph pulled him down or something all the way down, I get it. But if it's something like what we saw, let him play.
It's almost like wanting the refs to call Reggie Miller pushing off to get free on the screen on the last play of the game. It's like you're not going to get that. I'm sorry. Right. Exactly. There's an unwritten rule that unless it's something egregious, you let him go, and the best man wins in that situation. But more importantly, with these overtime rules, I was skeptical about them even changing it where a field goal doesn't win. And I know a lot of people didn't want that, and they said it was anticlimactic, but I'm sorry, man. Your defense is out there for a reason, dude. You got to get a stop when it matters.
For the sake of entertainment, I don't have a problem the way they are now.
Right.
I don't have a problem the way it is. I'm fine, because it was real dry when it was like just getting the field goal range.
3 completions and
you know what I'm saying? Getting the field goal range real quick and kick overtime is over in 2 seconds. You know, it's like it was kind of like, not entertaining that way. So I like it the way it is. I hope it stays this way. I don't want to see a team get a touchdown and then go.
No, I don't. Because you did your job at that point. You scored a touchdown. You did your job. Your defense should not have to come on the field because they couldn't hold you to 3 points. They're allowing you to give up points and still play, and you won't even accept that.
Right.
And that's the funny thing. We're going to be discussing later the XFL's version of their overtime rules. So
which is actually
that's going to be funny.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. That's kind of interesting. But let's get into these fans real quick.
I have a question. One last question about the overtime. So here's I was throwing these ideas out to my cousin the other day. We were talking. What do y'all think about a 5-minute period where they just play until the time expires? Do you think that would? It's obviously not going to solve the issues of everybody complaining, but do you think that would be a better solution?
A 5-minute period?
5 minutes. You know how quick you can burn 5 minutes when
you can burn it, but I mean, it's better than playing 10 minutes with that huge risk of injury, especially during regular season.
I put it like this: a 5-minute offensive drive is almost equivalent to you getting the ball first and going to kick a field goal.
Yeah, but if they can't stop you, they can't stop you.
I've always had it. I've always had shootout in mind. I remember my original idea was based on the field goal kickers going at it.
No, my thing
right away.
Yeah, right away.
I put it like this.
But what's the name? McAfee has stated this. He has stated that they play for 10 minutes and
he
then
did
go
it tongue in cheek though. He wasn't serious about that. He was poking fun at the people who were bitching about the rule when he did it. Yeah.
But even so, with that,
I think a 10-minute straight regulation. If it's still tied,
I don't know. That's kind of long though. Because then the risk of injury kind of comes into it. Everybody's tired. 10 minutes is
right now in the playoffs they do 15-minute sudden.
Yeah, but we've never even seen it come close, have we?
Here's the thing: when we saw in the regular season, we saw more ties because they took 5 minutes away. They made it a 10-minute overtime, and then virtually it was like one possession here, one possession there, whatever.
Yeah.
And I do have a question about the risk of injury. Are we really talking about the risk of injury of, like, let's say if the defense or somebody's offense on the sideline half the time? I mean, more plays you're going to get risk, obviously, but I don't think it's going to be because of fatigue.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think there's a perfect solution to it. I think keeping it the way it is now is fine. I don't get the hoopla about it.
I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I'm okay with it the way it is now, but I mean, if you're going to change it, I just don't think a 5-minute overtime, because you got to think about it. Yeah, it has to be, because if you kick the ball off in 5 minutes, you can basically 2 first downs. That 5 minutes is over.
Technically, get rid of the kickoff.
Well, that. But hold on. Why don't you do what they do in college and stop the clock on every first down?
Yeah, that could work. But then you still have to run the risk that the other offense may not get the ball because it's still 5 minutes.
Well, man. At some point, you got to get a stop, bro.
But I'm like I said, I'm dead serious. Like with 5 minutes on the clock. Even if they stop the clock every down, now you're talking about possibly 3 first downs, and then the time is up. You see what I mean? It's like, it's kind of weird. GS, never mind. Thank you for following me following us on Twitter. I mean on Twitch. He goes to Georgia Southern, so he's one of my followers on Georgia Southern. I appreciate that. Go Eagles all day long.
I just think teams need to get a stop. I'm sorry.
I agree with that too. Makes no sense that you didn't get a chance on offense because your defense was sleeping.
Right. So, y'all want to talk about these fans? You want to talk about the fans? Because I don't have anything to say. Just they spoke for themselves on Twitter.
See, the thing is, it's the Patriots fans that are kind of, I don't know, like every fan base has an issue with losing, obviously, but with the franchises that have a lot of championships, it's like way worse because then they just start talking about the past. Like, well, we have 6 rings, so it doesn't really matter.
That's not like the Cowboys fans.
Right. Somebody had to beat us eventually. Shut the fuck up. You lost. I'm sorry. You lost. Just say you lost. I mean, fuck. Why do we have to hear about your 6 rings? We're not talking about your 6 rings. Oh, it took a Patriot to beat a Patriot. No, the fucking didn't. We got blown out by the Ravens this year. It's like they say this stupid shit to make themselves feel better. It's like, no, you lost.
That's all it's because, I mean, listen, when the Saints come after my Falcons, the first thing they do, they show that stupid ass gift of Breeze holding that.
Yeah.
He's holding that Super Bowl trophy like, dude. You,
ancient fucking history.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that season, we beat them that season a couple times.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, and they always bring up 20-3. I say, you guys would never. And I will say this to any Saints fan: you guys will never spot us 25 points and think y'all can come back and beat us.
Bro, it's like
never.
I told this dude, so I posted that picture with the jerseys and shit on Facebook, and I was like, clearly Saints fans don't know their own history. And somebody came to, oh, well, the Saints won a Super Bowl, the Falcons lost both times they made it. I said, excuse me. The Saints literally let one man run them out of the playoffs in Seattle. The Saints blew a lead in Chicago, Reggie Bush's rookie year. The Saints got blown out by the 49ers in the playoffs. The Saints blame the refs every time they lose now in the playoffs. Are we really going to talk about choke artists here? Can we stop?
I'll take that back. They beat us both times that year. That's fine. Okay.
But I mean, that was the year after y'all lost Michael Vick.
Well, that's true.
What did you have? Chris Redmond as your fucking quarterback?
Oh, 09? No, we
Johnny Harrington?
No, it was Matt Ryan's second year.
That was Matt Ryan's second year?
Yeah, it was the second.
So I mean, it's like, what do you have? A fucking washed Roddy White? I mean, give me a break. but it's like, I hate these fans who like they're throwing stones from a glass house. The Saints don't have this crazy memorable history as a franchise. They have one fucking Super Bowl.
I mean,
like, we gotta stop.
I mean, nobody wants to talk about them pre-2006, you know, and then we'll just leave it at that.
Well, and then the last roast I'll do, Tom Keegan, you fat fuck piece of shit.
Damn.
That writes for the Boston Herald, titled, the headline on the front of the Boston Herald today was, "It is time for him to go." And he's talking about Tom Brady. You fucking loser. You piece of shit. Let's go over a couple things in this article that really fucking rubbed me the wrong way. Okay, so he says, the first thing he said, bringing back Brady is too risky. His performance declined sharply in the last half of his age 42 season. Do you really want to trust that he can miraculously reverse that trend at age 43? Does anybody have the stomach for a public discourse that blames every poor Brady pass on receivers who weren't good but were unfairly painted as unable to catch a cold while ice fishing naked, incapable of reading a Dick and Jane level playbook, much less the Patriots complex one, and unable to gain separation on a cornerback if given a 10-yard head start? So here's my thing. He literally named all the issues that were actual issues with the receivers this year, and then he says, but are we really going to use that as an excuse? Yes, the fuck we are, because that was the issue. We just saw it play out against the Titans. Like, what are you talking about? It's like, I don't get how we can say, yeah, kick Brady out of town, kick him out of town. He can't play anymore. He was throwing fucking darts on Saturday.
I'll put it like this. I'm not. You may think I'm crazy, but I don't 100% disagree with what that guy said.
It's not okay. This is
my thing is, I mean, he's wrong, but I'm not going to. I think he's wrong by the way I think the delivery was wrong, but the precedent, like, I don't see a problem with them moving on from Brady.
I have a serious problem with it because they put Brady in this position to look like he was declining by. Yeah, go on.
My question is, if they're going to do this, if even talk about it, who's the successor?
Exactly.
Yeah, and you know what? And this was GS
they
Nevermind.
had people in there and they let them go.
And this was GS Nevermind just put on the Twitch chat. He said, "Who's going to replace Brady on that team?" That's a good question. Like I said, I don't disagree with like, say, if they did replace him, but that's a good question to not replace him because, like, Jared Stidham's not ready.
Well, here's the better.
Wait a minute. Here we go. Patriots, the Redskins do have the number 2 pick in the draft. So if y'all want to, work something out, we can.
Well, let's think about this for a second, though. Let's think about this let's think about it from this perspective, okay? Bill Belichick acted like a petulant child, right? He wanted to sit Brady. He thought Brady was done. He wanted to trade Brady. He wanted to trade Gronk. He wanted to blow this whole thing up.
But you got to think about it before you go there now. Now let's be 100% honest. He's been known for doing that over the years.
He's a fucking clown. Of course he has. But that's besides the point. Because this right here, Tom Brady is a different animal. You don't trade Tom Brady. You just don't. That's not something you do. You don't even mention that.
I got you. I'm not disagreeing. I do understand that.
So it's like, my thing is, when he wanted to do that, he basically wanted to have a quarterback competition between Tom Brady and Jimmy Garoppolo the year he traded Jimmy Garoppolo. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. Kraft didn't say trade Jimmy Garoppolo. Belichick acted like a petulant child and said, oh, you don't want me to start him? You don't want me to trade Brady? Fine, I'll trade our future away.
Yeah.
Then he threatened to trade Gronk to the Giants. That was talk. There were talks about that. Then there were talks about him going to the Giants. He was going to trade Gronk to the Giants, blow the Super Bowl the way he did in the Eagles. I don't care what anybody say, he threw that fucking Super Bowl. And then he would go to the Giants. He would have Gronk there and say, "Hi, look at me. Look at me. I got Gronk. I traded him to the Giants. I set up my team here. I got all the leverage. I'm president of football operations. I'm the head coach. I'm the GM." He was setting all this up. So that's why when I look at what he's done to this team, as far as taking all of Brady's targets away, as far as not building the offensive line when Solder didn't get re-signed, that's what I look at and I say, well, how can you say he's declining when you've put him in every position to decline? That's why I say it's offensive for this fat fuck here to write that because he knows Brady's leaving. That's why he put it. That's all. He's a bitter broad that's mad because Brady's probably going to go elsewhere and fucking kill us next year.
GS Nevermind put up another quote. He said, "Let's be real. If Brady gets traded, I feel like the Pats lose fans to wherever he goes. I know way too many." He said, "I know way too many Pats fans who only know Brady and Gronk."
Well, let me tell you something. That's 90% of the football franchises. That's 90% of the sports franchises. But 90% of sports franchises are casual fans. They watch because they get attached to certain players. But go on.
But let's entertain this for a second. Now, the one consistent thing that, I mean, even Belichick, we know he's the coach. But the one most consistent thing when it comes to the Patriots is Tom Brady. Like you said it before, Vrabel gone, Seymour gone, Ty Law retired. They got rid of what's his name, the other safety, Lawyer Malloy. Yep. You know, they got rid of all these prominent players in their prime. But when you know that one consistent is Tom. So Tom Brady's been around for 20 years. So right, take a picture. So GS Nevermind kind of got a point. You know, like if he leaves, where does the Patriots go in general? Because I mean, I think a lot of people are going to, you know, kind of follow where Brady goes.
Well, my thing is, let's be honest. If Belichick had his druthers, he wouldn't want to coach without Tom Brady.
No,
if he found out that Tom Brady left, he'd probably retire because he wouldn't want the world to see what he really fucking is without Tom Brady. We've already kind of seen it. Everybody, well, we won 11-5. We didn't make the fucking playoff. The Miami Dolphins beat us twice in a fucking season and made the playoffs.
And they always beat y'all one time, so that's a problem.
Can people really stop with this? Well, Belichick had plenty of success. Where did he have success? He had a first round loss to Miami when he was in Cleveland.
Yeah,
they had one of the best records in the league. So I hate this. And like I said this on Facebook. I don't give a fuck. I watch sports and I see sports differently. Tom Brady is all I've ever known as a Patriots fan. It is not all I know as far as the Patriots history. It is all I've ever known as far as who to support as a Patriots fan. If Tom Brady leaves, I'm going with him. And anybody who has an issue with that, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. Because guess what? They're going to want to do it. Or they're just not going to watch.
Right.
It's that simple.
Y'all got anything on these Saints fans? Because I don't.
Well, we already kind of touched on them. They're just petulant children, bro.
Yeah.
Everything is woe is us. The league is out to get us. The refs suck. You know, if this didn't happen, we would have won. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
The sad thing about it is that, just one last thing. The sad thing about it is that Saints fans were the feel good story after Katrina, but now it's just. They've taken it 2, 3, 4 million steps beyond.
Kind of like they're kind of milking it a little bit.
Right.
Oh, they definitely are. They've overstayed their welcome as the darlings of NFL fans. They're
and they got their Super Bowl championship out of it. So,
Pooh, you keep asking where Tom Brady's going to go. It's Tom fucking Brady.
All right. Mike McCarthy.
I stayed at Chargers though.
Mike McCarthy just went to Dallas as the head coach. Y'all got any quick thoughts on that?
Horrible.
Well, right now Dallas has 2 coaches, so I'm sitting here laughing my ass off because it's not
Jason
like
Garrett?
because they haven't fired him.
He is unwilling to accept his departure from the Cowboys.
Yeah, I know, right?
You see it? Oh my god!
It's like, you gotta go. No, you can't kick me out.
He's like, look, I have a plan. Next year we run play action. We put Jarwin in the slot. We don't care, Jason. Get out. It's like, oh my god! It's like
you can
a movie.
make plays, but not here.
Right? Like, what the fuck? Like, get out. We're not taking you. They don't want to fire the guy.
Go someplace else and clap there.
Yeah, because like this
you get clapped.
Like his contract is up on next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, yeah.
Oh god, the fact that they.
That's kind of weird.
That's like when the Redskins had 2 starting quarterbacks before they let Kirk Cousins go. Remember, before his contract ran out, they traded for Alex Smith. So we were sitting there with 2 starting quarterbacks, and they were asking Kirk, "How you feel about Alex being on the team?" I was like,
dude,
how you think he's supposed to feel? He's about to leave.
Like,
so.
Jason Garrett, man, it's like you just won't let it die. You like they're trying to be nice. It's just
how long has Jason Garrett been a Cowboy? Not just his coaching days.
Wrong. I mean, 20, 30 years, 30 years.
Jesus Christ, get the hell out of there.
Yeah, I think, like I said last week, I think he just needs he needs to go somewhere else.
He needs to come to grips with this first before he does anything. Come to grips with the fact that you're not.
Was he like, my NFL dream is over with? I'm like, you was a backup for the Cowboys, and you was a coordinator for the Cowboys, and you became the head coach for the Cowboys, and throughout this entire time, they didn't win shit.
I could completely, I could completely see now. This may be all satirical, but I could completely see this. I could see Mike McCarthy show up with like his shit, right? Mm-hmm. And Jason Garrett hasn't cleaned his office out yet. This is like a fucking impasse between him and Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, they'll drag his ass up out of there. I ain't worried about that.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I mean, but overall, I honestly, I think that the actual move is actually pretty good. I think it's a pretty good move.
Yeah. I think he's good for that team.
Yeah, I think
he'll get some out of those players that Garrett obviously through hand clapping couldn't do.
Right. Well, I agree.
The issue I see with Mike McCarthy is the same issue that I saw in Green Bay, which is his unwillingness to change, his unwillingness to evolve with the league, predictable play calls, and not run the ball.
Yeah, well, and with this team, this personnel he has, is almost like he's going to have to change.
He needs to put the play calling strictly in the hands of Kellen Moore.
Well, I
think because he's thinking about bringing him back. So
right.
If you bring him back, he's a good offensive mind. He's so unwilling to adapt, man.
I think what should happen is both of them two need to get together and really talk about what Kellen brings to the table, what McCarthy brings to the table, and they need to mix it up and learn something from each other, because one person can't do. I don't believe you bring an offensive minded coach in and just let the offensive coordinator just do whatever he wants. It has to be some type of fusion of minds so they can work together. And I think that will help him in the long run. I mean, it's a really good fit. I don't care what anybody says. No, you heard people on other debate shows still think about the past, which I understand it because that's all you have to live on. But you got to understand what people need to do and use some common sense. You want this offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, or whoever he brings in, and the offensive-minded coach need to talk together. You would think that.
But that's why they need football people in there that's doing the hiring, because I would have picked Mike McCarthy's brain and said, first off, how up to date are you with the new schemes in the NFL and where the NFL is headed as a whole before we hire you? Because you haven't coached in a couple years and you had antiquated ideas back then. So before we bring you in, we want you to know we paid Zeke. We want you to run the damn ball. We don't want you to have predictable play call. We need to know that you're going to adapt with the league.
Oh, and just to update Pooh, the Giants hired Judge. I forgot his first name.
John Judge or something?
John Judge as Joe Judge as the head coach of the New York Giants. So
they
hired him away from the Patriots.
Yeah, that was he was a special team coach of the Patriots, right?
And wide receiver coach.
Yeah, I don't have much to take from that.
Coordinator wasn't any, but apparently Belichick was impressed with him. So,
Pooh, we're gonna get to predictions on
Thursday. Yeah, we'll talk about that Thursday. The Panthers got a new coach. They got the guy from Baylor. I have no idea what he can do for that team, and I don't even know what that means for Cam Newton. I'm thinking that he's going to.
Well, Cam Newton's is pretty much going to be in Chicago. I keep saying this, but he's going to Chicago.
One more thing about the Cowboys, real quick though. Do y'all find it weird that they only interviewed 2 coaches?
No.
Yeah, they got the Rooney rule out the way. That's what that was.
See, this is the problem with this is the problem I have with.
They knew who they really wanted.
Exactly. They do this all the time. This is not just a Cowboys thing.
Yeah.
Ever since they started the Rooney Rule, they always bring one minority in just to satisfy the rule.
And then the Washington Redskins were smart, and they brought Rivera, hired him. They didn't have to interview anybody else.
Think about it. I mean, look what happened when Andy Reid got hired to the Chiefs. They did the same thing.
No, but I would say that part aside, like the Rooney Rule aside, I think they should have been more careful about hiring McCarthy, having only interviewed him and Marvin Lewis. I mean,
all they need is one.
No, my thing is, I have a feeling. With that being said, I have a feeling that they kind of knew who they wanted from the beginning, and they probably knew, like, probably during the end of the regular season, or probably like a week before the end of the regular season, they kind of knew what they wanted.
I think that's part of the issue. If you already knew you wanted Mike McCarthy before, that's part of the issue and why your franchise is going to be held back. He is not the guy to earn that type of oh yeah, we know we want him. Like, come on, bro. There's a reason he hasn't been.
I like Mike McCarthy. I think he's a good coach. His play calling is a lot more to be desired. I'm not going to say it's going to be a bad look. I will say that they're not going to get worse.
I like him more personality-wise than I do X's and O's, and I honestly don't know if this team needs more X's and O's or more personality. I think his lack of X's and O's might override his personality. It did in Green Bay. They have plenty of talent in Green Bay.
Yeah, I think the team itself needs somebody to light a fire into everybody, because the talent's there. They're still young, and this would be a perfect time to light a fire under those young guys. So the next 7, 8, 9 years, they'll be rock solid as far as their careers go. So, but I don't think he's that guy. It's just, I mean, like right now, honestly, this team could use a Mike Singletary easily. Like, they could use somebody like him, like, easily. But nevertheless, XFL overtime rules. These are really interesting rules. Let me see.
Yeah, I figure you was gonna flash them up real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them up on the screen, and
yeah,
I saw him talking about it on
Pooh. I talked about the coaching hires last Thursday.
Yeah, we talked about the other ones from last. Yeah. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up right.
So that was episode 107.
Yep.
Yeah, that was last week. Yeah. Let's see. Share screen. Zooms and wham whams. Bam.
Zooms and wham whams.
I swear, VF comes up with his own language, his own vocabulary every single show.
All right. This is the XFL overtime rules. It says a series of 5 2-point plays from the 5-yard line is the basis of the overtime rules, with the offense getting 2 points each time it reaches the end zone. Teams will rotate turns after each play. So it's like basically one offense gets on the field, do a play. After the play is over, they switch. Yep. The other offense gets on the team, get on the play. Field goals are not permitted, and the defenses can't score, which I think they need to tweak that. After each team has 5 turns, one team is mathematically eliminated. The team with the most conversions is the winner. So I'm guessing like you have to win by 2 or something like that. I'm guessing.
Wait, man. Now that I'm hearing that in detail, I think they may have ruined it if they keep it that way.
If the game is still tied, see, that's why I think the team has to win by 2 score. Like, you get 2 points each play. It has to be
it's like playing 21 in the street, playing football.
Right.
Win by 2.
No, I think they're gonna have to win by 4, because you gotta think about it. It's 2 points each play, so they have to win. Like, say if one team scores, right, and the other team gets the ball, they don't score, so the other team get the ball back. No, and they score. You see what I'm saying? I think.
Do y'all like the fact that defenses can't score? I
think that's something they need to change.
Yeah.
Let me finish the last paragraph. If the game is still tied, the 2 teams will then get 1 attempt each until one team scores and the other is stopped. It guarantees there will be no ties in XFL.
Yeah, that's win by 2 points.
Right. So, okay, that's the part that's win by 2. Okay, so I get the other one, unless they're math, because they get 5 chances, and let's say on the 3rd, like on the 4th chance, that team is.
But technically, no, that's not win by 2.
Yeah,
because
if it's still tied, there's no win by anything. But
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's not really
to guarantee that there are no ties. A team's going to win by 2.
Yeah, but no, because you can still
It's not by rule that they have to win by 2. That's just the result.
Oh, well, you mean 2 points instead of 2 scores?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I get you. Because I was saying, it's basically a score and a stop at that point.
Yeah, basically. So, personally, as far as the XFL goes, I have no problem with this overtime rule because it's the XFL. I expect something different. The only problem I do have is the defenses can't score. I also don't like the fact that there are no field goals. Now, me personally, if there was a field goal, like say if a team was to try to do a field goal, and let's say it'd be worth 1 point, let's say that field goal was all the way back at the 35, and they had to kick a very long field goal. I would like that if that was if they implemented field. I don't want no field goal on the 15 or the 3-yard line or something like that.
Yeah, I'm about to say, since they're saying they're starting from the 5-yard line.
That's what I'm saying.
Would they move them back?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you decide to do a field goal in overtime, the ball is going back at the 30 or something like. You have to do like a 45 or 50-yard field goal. I would like that implemented as well. So those 2 things I would like.
And then naturally they would have to it would be the first attempt they have would be field goal, not move it closer. Literally, your field goal is from this spot. If you're choosing to take a field goal, that's where you're taking your field goal.
Right. You have to take it from way back there. Yeah. Like I said, the fact that this is the XFL, I have no problem with this format. Right. Now, I don't want this to be in the NFL or college or anything like that. The fact that this is a different league, I kind of expect a twist on things. So overall, I'm okay with it. I do wish, like, if a defense get the turnover, if they do get a pick 6 and they can run it all the way back, I feel that if the defense score on that, the game is automatically over.
Right. I mean, come on. I mean, it's on the goal line, for Christ's sake. That dude runs it back 99 yards or 98 yards. Come on.
Yeah, the overtime is officially over.
Right.
Like they said they get 5 chances each time, right? Okay, let's just say the first time the defense get a pick and run it all the way back.
And not give it up.
That's right. If they run it all the way back, it don't matter at that point. The game is over. No more chances for nobody. So
that's how rare that play is. That literally if you give up a pick 6 from your 2-yard line,
you deserve to lose the game completely. There's no more chances. So I think this is a good start for the XFL. I don't want this implemented nowhere else, but I like it. Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl need way more issues than I'll put it like this. If the Pro Bowl managed to get into overtime, then players are doing more than what they usually do in Pro Bowl. But what are your guys' thoughts? Like I said, I'm okay. I'm okay with it because it's the XFL.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with it. I think it's interesting. It kind of takes away from those plays, like, for example, in college football, like those 1 or 2 plays that aren't really, okay, this might be a score. But if you put it on the 2-yard line, it's like, 5-yard line, it's like, well, one of these teams are going to score eventually, so I'm not going to be sitting here on my hands, just waiting. I like that. And like you said, it's an alternative league, so
yeah, and
it's different.
And that's the only reason why I like it. The rules in general, it looks like a bunch of chaos.
Right.
But the fact that it's the XFL, I'm okay with it. Now, if the NFL came with something like this, Roger Goodell going to have to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just thought of something. I had to step back and look at this process again. Does it remind you of Superstar KO from Madden mode? Because isn't that like one series or at least one?
I don't know. I never looked.
I'm about to say. First of all, he hasn't watched NY Kia videos. Now he's saying he needs to play Superstar KO. You're exposing yourself tonight, bro.
Man, first of all, in other words, then you're saying you're exposing NY Kia because you're saying that he's playing Superstar KO.
No, you said that you don't know what
so what does NY Kia's video have to do with Superstar KO?
He said first you aren't watching NY Kia's videos, and
you don't know
you're playing Superstar KO.
Now you're playing Superstar KO because you don't went all the way through and played overtime in Superstar KO. I don't know how that shit runs.
No, I haven't.
Let me look up the rules of Superstar.
I haven't even played Superstar KO. Let me look talking about the mode itself. There are articles to read.
I don't care. My thing is Superstar KO,
because you can't read.
That too. Superstar KO should not be getting this attention. They need to put this attention in franchise mode, but that's another story for another day.
Would be a nice
Bills, what you say you're okay with the DJ? You gave your thoughts as well.
I don't. It's cool. I mean, I don't know, man. This league in general, I just gotta kind of see it in motion first.
Yeah.
It's obviously an alternative. I don't have huge expectations, but anything better than last time, please.
Yeah, anything better than that,
please.
I mean,
Dwayne Johnson shows up on the first day.
God, yeah, no, and you're not gonna bring. You know, they have to put some sort of WWE element in there. There's no way they're not. What channel are they on? Did they announce they have a team? Well,
XFL is gonna be on Fox.
There you
That's what I'm saying. It's Fox.
There you go.
And they kind of already, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I missed the AAF. Damn, I missed that league.
I do too, bro. It was good.
It was rough around the edges, but around about week 3, it was some good football.
Yeah, man.
Some good football. It's just somebody had to be greedy and steal money.
It's like that. Somebody started stealing the money. You're like, fuck it, we're out.
Right.
Q&A. Anybody got any questions real quick? I think Pooh had a few of them. I'm gonna throw some up here real quick before.
So do you think? Let me see something.
He said, DJ, what are your thoughts about it? Oh yeah, you already talked about that last week. Let's see. Somebody came with a really good question. I missed it. Pooh with all these crazy ass questions.
Said crazy ass comments.
Well, that's just him normally talking, so I'm not gonna go there.
Wow.
No, I don't see any questions. Anybody got any questions, man? Put them out there so we can talk real quick. And there's one. Pooh did say, okay, what players do you think are underrated in the 2020 NFL draft? I don't know.
I'll have to look at that too.
I don't know what the draft board is, but I can tell you who's overrated right now. It's Jake Fromm, and we'll just leave it at that right now.
Yes,
but we'll wait till the draft board officially, tightens up, and we'll talk about it then. But that's not going to be until like maybe mid-March. That's going to be a minute.
I just know right now with just talking about who's going to get picked and whatnot. I know Redskins fans all over Twitter set on Chase Young. I'm sitting there like, I don't know why we get into this notion. We've been looking at Chase Young for the whole, fans have been looking at Chase Young for the whole entire season. It was like, oh, he's going to be a Redskin. I'm like, can we just finish the season?
Right.
With some type of dignity?
I don't know who, like right now, I mean, even with Joe Burrow going to Cincinnati, it's like, I don't even know who's really like a definite like need. I mean, yeah, obviously you can see that from what the Bengals went through. What was Andy Dalton's numbers? Was he really that bad? I mean, I don't know.
He got replaced as the starter.
Okay.
So that's how bad it got.
Okay, see, that's bad. I'll be honest. I didn't know because I didn't follow the Bengals. For all intents and purposes, I thought he was just hurt or something.
Well, by the time you paid attention to him, he was back as the starter, but he didn't do anything even then. Maybe that one game, but that was it.
I have a topic we could talk about if nobody has questions. Can we talk about this Kevin Love situation for a second?
Oh, that is
he kind of playing kiss and make up right now though.
He is because he doesn't want them to trade him to fucking Orlando or somewhere like that. That's why. I mean, let's be honest. That man had a fit on the basketball court.
I've never seen anything like that,
bro. He literally and here's the thing. I've been paying attention to this. So when VF sent it to the chat, I was like, bro, trust me, I've seen it because the thing was. They don't like the coach. He treats them like little kids. He's a college coach. He came in and tried to act like they're college students and not. They're fucking grown-ass men. So he doesn't like that. The GM was going to fine them for celebrating on the bench. Kevin Love said, fine me. I got plenty of money. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like he's turned into a savage. Then Beeline was taking too long to call a play. Kevin Love came up and asked for the ball for Carlos Sexton and then threw the hardest fucking pass.
Yo, that pass was so funny.
It was almost a bounce pass.
That's how you jam a finger. Yeah. That's how you jam a finger right there.
And what was his explanation for that? He was just like...
he said he was just... he
was frustrated, but he also said he was frustrated because the play that was called was not the play that would have taken advantage of a mismatch in that situation. Is Kevin Love had a point guard on him or something like that. So he just wanted the ball to be swung over to his side so he can take advantage of the low post. And the coach was like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, Beeline's calling a different. It's like, bro, come on, man. Like,
man, I mean, I'm not trying to, go against Kevin Love's acumen in basketball, but clearly he sees something on the court that the coach don't see. And they're not even trying it.
The coach doesn't get how NBA basketball works, I think. And I think Kevin Love's really frustrated by that, along with the fact that they're making moves to make their team worse. And he does not like that.
Right.
Like they traded away Jordan Clarkson.
That kind of reminds me of how like the dude that does the 2K roster sets up the player tendencies.
Yeah.
All wrong and out of place. And the user base gets frustrated because it's like, that's not how they play.
I've watched Cleveland play, and I'm just like, what the hell? I mean, the wrong lineups out there. They're trying to trade away every player that wants to win so they can tank for another high pick. It's like, how many high picks do y'all need? They all going to squander. It's like he's tired of it. He wants to go to a contender, and honestly,
they're not gonna trade him to a contender.
Nope.
I'll be surprised if they do. Well,
they will because
I'll put it like this: they will because their hand will be forced.
I think they're going to trade him to a contender because the contender would have a lot more that they would want back.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Their hand will be forced.
So I think
in other circumstances, out of spite, they'll send his ass like to Orlando or something like that. You're right, but I think he's too valuable. Trade deadline usually, it's January right now. Shit, trade deadline's coming up. Somebody's gonna give them an offer that they'll look like a dumbass if they get the good offer from a contender, and just out of spite, they'll send them down to somewhere like Atlanta or something like that.
Just imagine they trade into Portland and Cleveland gets Rodney Hood back, who they didn't want initially.
Oh Lord,
they literally traded Rodney Hood to the fucking Trailblazers. I'm pretty sure they did.
Right. I don't have anything else, man.
Who has another question?
It's more like
I'm not. I see it.
I see it too, and I there's no need to at this point because he drags himself.
I was about to say why, but I'm gonna put it up here for a second, so we could just look at this. I want to hear something outside of sports getting dragged. So can you drag hip hop game? I don't want to drag. We've done that for years.
It's just like DJ said, he drags himself. It's almost like saying, "Can you drag Hollywood sports?" No, he does it to himself.
No, don't get me wrong. I would love. This is a rumor that I would actually like to see happen. But once it could have been anybody else. But once he put it out there, I was like, I don't think this shit's happening at this point.
You know what's even funnier? I saw an article today that I shared and told everybody to take it with a grain of salt on Facebook, and it said, "Oh, this was found out and released by Hip Hop Gamer, who's been reliable in the past."
Yeah, that was even worse.
Where he's been reliable?
Your source was another journalist.
God,
that claims he had a source.
Just like Obi-Wan Watson said, "Hip Hop Cap Gamer."
Right.
Nah, Kid said it worse. Kid used to call him Hip Hop Coon. That shit was funny. And we need to get Kid back on the show, man. But that shit was funny.
Man.
Like Hip Hop Coon.
Bro, I'll never forget that Rex Dixon interview he had.
Yeah.
When he was like, "Oh, you see, Rex is saying you can make a game. So y'all go ahead and make a game, 2K." Like, man, you shut the fuck up.
But see,
Toys R Us belt.
It could have been anybody but Hip Hop Gamer to put that out.
Anybody.
I would have kind of believed it if it was like Jason Schreier, anybody else in the industry. But when it was him, I was reading it that's when I put it out on Twitter. I was like, yo, Hip Hop Gamer is the source of his article. I just want to let everybody know. So anybody want to get their hopes up, like
I'm still twisted over the whole. He tried to compare the criticism of Order 1886 to racism.
And then he turned around and said that NFL 2K15 was coming out.
Just because there was NFL people inside the building.
You know
people.
You know that's like. That's almost like if you remember when I talked about the Carson Wentz jerseys being on 2K Park. That's almost like if I was like, well, shit, 2K's coming out with a football game next year. You see it right there.
Wait a minute. Ravens Nation, we did not do the picks for the divisional round. We're doing that on Thursday.
Yeah, that'll be Thursday.
Yeah,
don't worry. I'm picking the Ravens to lose.
Yeah, Pooh's putting out false information saying we did already.
No,
I don't know.
No, I'll give him this. I'm the only one who's already made a claim to a pick for this coming weekend. I say whoever was going to Kansas City was going to win.
And that's Houston?
And
Houston's going to Kansas City.
And Watson is on the road.
I know, right?
So here we go.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I don't trust the Chiefs defense.
I might take Casey in that one. I need a couple more days to ponder on it.
So, so if anything, that's the one pick that's already. I already said that was locked, stock, and barrel and ready to go. So
wait, what's with the smoke with Josina Anderson? Where did that come from?
No, he said he's not a bad source like Josina.
That's what I'm saying. What?
She must have said something about the Eagles. That's the only thing I can think of.
Ravens Nation, Ravens will knock some sense. Yeah, okay.
I'm not even. All right. What y'all got, man? We about to close.
Okay, for Ravens Nation, all I'm going to say is what's going to happen in the fourth quarter when he's ran the ball at least 30-something times and y'all don't want to tackle.
Yeah, regardless. Because I'm gonna put it like this. Like honestly, it's gonna be hard to knock that guy down. I mean, who's on your defense that can really knock down a 6'3", 240 running back? Like y'all going, like somebody gonna actually have to do like, a targeting call. I
have a question. What's gonna happen when their defensive ends aren't getting too far up the field and your receivers actually have to get open?
Well, but seriously though, even if he had 30 carries for 50 yards, that's time on the field.
He said that shit last time, and the Bills ran all over them.
Well, but no, I'm just saying. Even if that's the case, and they're on the field longer, guess who's not on the field?
Y'all are not going to be able to run the ball against the Titans, bro.
I look at it like this. This is going to be a quick game because both teams are going to be running the ball.
Yeah,
we know this.
I'm not saying that the Ravens are going to lose to the Titans, but let's be honest, y'all not going to
He really thinks they're just going to stomp these dudes out. Like, it's not going to happen.
Lamar Jackson is one good hit away from being knocked out of the game.
But I'm not going to go that far.
I'll say
that's what it's going to take. It's the playoffs. You either get.
I'll put it like this: there's no team in the playoffs that's going to get stomped. There's no team you're going to win or lose, but it's not going to be somewhere where one team's going to shut down the other. I don't see that.
Right now, Lamar Jackson is just as good as his last playoff game. Now, he ended that game very well, and they almost won, but that first half,
Ravens Nation.
So we gotta look at his last playoff game and disregard everything he did in the regular season this year.
Ravens Nation
this time.
Ravens Nation, remember what I said on Thursday. This is a one-game season every week. These teams have had all year to prepare for this offense that they're about to face. And I'm telling you right now, if those defensive ends and linebackers do not get too far upfield, Lamar Jackson is going to have a hard time just like he did last year because he had the same arm last year. He couldn't make the reads as quick. He had the same arm last year. The difference was his clock was moving a hell of a lot quicker. So you just got to remember that, Ravens Nation. You think everything is high apple pie in the sky.
Listen, I think we're gonna touch on this more on Thursday when we actually do our picks. But I don't think that I don't think not just the Titans or any. I don't think there's not one team in the playoffs at this point that's going to get like ran over. I don't think any like what you saw with the Eagles. That's probably the closest you're going to see at a team getting dominated. I don't see that not for the rest of the playoffs. So, DJ, what you got to close out tonight, man?
Well, nothing. Well, I've been watching CNN the whole entire time too. So
why?
Because I like to watch the news. I multitask during the podcast. I always do.
CNN.
I watch. Yeah, no, but that's not the only news I watch. Right now, it's the only thing that's playing in the background.
Why are you picking at that man's viewing preference?
No, I'm not. No, it's not that. I'm just like, I'm not.
You were watching.
Like dead serious. Like all jokes to the left. CNN is not news.
All jokes to the left.
Yeah, all jokes to the left. CNN is not news. Yeah, like seriously,
none of the news is not news. Even in the sports industry, you got people who claim they have sources that know what's going on inside the organization.
Did Pooh just say Twitter is news? Yeah, if you're trying to find out about somebody's baby mama.
Twitter,
right, you're trying to find out about the latest group fight at the nearest subway.
Twitter.
Somebody getting slapped by somebody's backhand.
I'm gonna tell you,
getting knocked out.
I'm gonna be honest. Like the best news to get is when you hear a headline and you wait 24 to 48 hours and go back to that headline. You'll get the real story after a couple days after it happened.
The best news is restraint.
And better yet, if you're gonna use Twitter as a news source, type in the topic you want in the search bar and find an article about it that you think is a relatable article or something that has some legitimacy to it, or maybe just people that are talking about it. Usually the people with the blue check marks next to their names will tell you who. Right, do not go to latest, go to top.
But not only that, after a while, when you search around enough, you'll know who's reputable or not.
That's what I'm saying.
So my main thing is when a story happens, never take it for what it is when it first pops up on your timeline, or if it pops up on the news, or if it pops up on Google. Wait at least a day, because if it's something really serious, it will linger. If it's not that serious, it'll be a hit piece and it's gone, and like all of a sudden nobody talks about it no more. So
Ravens Nation,
the real serious news will always be lingering because it's something serious.
Ravens Nation, Drake isn't a culture vulture. His father's black, buddy. And secondly, and more importantly, people allow him to be a culture vulture because they entertain him. So let's not. Money's money.
What you got, Bills?
Thank you, everybody, for coming through. And yeah, it's been kind of a dead week in sports, I guess you could say, other than the NFL playoffs.
Definitely
gaming, definitely. But sports, other than football, obviously, there's not really anything going on with the NBA right now so much. So, thanks for coming through. And Thursday we'll have our picks for y'all. And I'm honestly just amped about this weekend of football.
Yeah, I am too. I've been looking at a little bit of NBA as well.
Favorite rap battles?
Who said that?
Pooh. Rap music, okay. Rap battles?
Yeah, go to that's literally a Philly thing. Go to bed. I mean, it's not to knock them. I mean, seriously, rap battles are a big thing in Philly. I know that.
So it's eating shit, but
damn.
Thank you guys.
Just know that anybody we name is not going to be from Philly. That in any rap battle that we're going to mention.
Wow.
I mean,
that one.
There's one. There's one.
No, not that it's one. That actually won a battle.
Oh, well, Cassidy.
Oh, wait a minute. Except for Will Smith.
Cassidy.
Will Smith actually.
I mean, I'm from
somebody back in the day.
I'm from the South. I mean, for me from the South, we just like good music. So the battle and stuff is cool. We'll just all right. We'll just look at it and we'll go back to what we're listening to. So,
Pooh, if your playlist doesn't include NWA, I don't want to see your playlist.
Damn, my playlist don't include NWA. There's a lot of people don't include, mostly because I don't have a playlist.
But Pooh's the one. But Pooh is the one reaching here. So
it's mostly because I don't have a playlist. That's more so why.
All right. I appreciate everybody coming through again. I think it's another successful podcast. We did good as far as content, interaction with the chat. I mean, you guys are great. I'm not gonna lie. We don't have that many people here. People criticize us for not, having a lot of people. They think numbers is the most important thing. But honestly, the most important thing is the interaction with the people who listen to us. And we can't take you guys.
Quality.
The most important thing is that they're only bashing us because they can't satisfy their girlfriends in bed. But go ahead.
Okay, Scott Steiner.
Let's be honest. I mean, you literally have people out here, and I put this on Twitter. You literally have people out here who cannot satisfy their audience unless they're one way. They can't be themselves. We can be ourselves.
We find a way.
I thought you said they can't beat themselves. I was like, that's the only way they get satisfied.
No, but I mean they can't be themselves. They have to be a certain way every time they hit the upload button or they start recording. With us, we can be ourselves, and you guys respect us for that, and we respect you guys for accepting us for being real, and that's the only way we can be. And join the Discord so you can continue to talk to us on Discord. I mean, I have mine on my phone, so y'all got any ideas? I know DJ put this up and we haven't used it much yet. We have a channel on the Discord. If you have any ideas or anything that you want to add to the podcast, you can put that there. We can talk about regular gaming, regular sports. We can talk about anything, not too personal because we don't want to know about your personal life. Fuck all that. But
damn.
We don't.
Damn, Noble.
Damn.
Noble just told us about his personal life.
No. That's a bereavement. That's different. That's different than somebody coming up and saying like, "Yo, I got this itch. What can I do for this?" No, we don't need to know that. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to know about that. Bereavement. We always embrace that type of stuff. But I mean, we don't need to know everything. Shout out to the young Noble. He lost his pops. I can imagine. I know exactly what he's going through. I lost my dad back in 2013. Here. So everybody, hit him up on Twitter. I think it's at OG Noble. Send him your condolences. Seriously, But outside of that, like I said, man, come through the Discord. We can talk about all this stuff that we talk about here on the podcast. You haven't catch us on live, iTunes, SoundCloud. You know how that goes. Catch us on that as well. All the Twitter, handles, where they are. Also, DJ, his blog just came out. Excellent one about the NBA 2K20 servers. Or I think it's 2K servers in general. Nevertheless, I think they're still using Dreamcast servers. I mean, whatever.
I'm still thinking they're using hamster wheels according to
Bills is making music. You already know what to do. You go to his Twitter, you find all the information.
Or hit my manager up and fucking bang her door down and ask when I can release this fucking music.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, also one more thing. With that Discord, I am the community manager for the Discord, so behave. Don't want to kick anybody out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't want to hear about.
You guys are doing good so far. So
yeah, that's right. We don't want to hear about your rashes or whatever you got going on. I mean,
you will be rashed on the way out. That's the only rash you're gonna hear about.
Yeah, get some hot
rash. Get some crawling up. Yeah.
Get some baby powder.
Yeah, get some stuff for that. So catch me on Twitch tomorrow catch me on Twitch tomorrow and Friday. I'll be out here streaming some more football. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this. We're gonna do some behind the scenes talk about some new things we're gonna do for the podcast for the next 30 minutes. We'll probably share pictures. Yeah, and we'll probably share that with y'all guys down the line. So see y'all guys next time. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Peace.
And your Washington Nationals are the champions.